Web animation. In this lesson, we're going to address animated GIFs, DHTML, JavaScript, and ASP.NET, and Flash animation. We want to outline the benefits and problems involved in web animation, explain the steps in making animated GIFs, identify the advantages and disadvantages of DHTML, describe the uses of JavaScript, explain the difference between Flash, and explain the steps in making animated Flash. Animations display a series of images in quick succession to show movement. They can serve several purposes. They get the attention of the site viewers, demonstrate how a product looks and its features. When you're using animations, you want to be careful and ask, does it fit? Is it used in the right place? And does the visitor even want the animation? 5 types of web animation, not including imported video, are animated GIFs, DHTML, or dynamic HTML, JavaScript, ASP.NET, and plugins. Flash plugins are the most popular. Animated GIFs are created when the bitmap graphics are joined into a single file to give them the appearance of motion. You can insert animated GIFs into your web page as you would any other graphic, and they can be easily created using a wide variety of software options from which you can choose. A frame is an individual image that makes up an animated GIF file. When an animation is played, it cycles through each frame, making it appear that the single image is moving. Enhancements, like tweening. Tweening is the process of making a gradual change in an image by the computer rather than by the user. You can tween motion, color, or position. Banner and other effects. Simple to create a banner with animated display text. You choose the font, type color, type size. And the effects include movements such as scrolling left, right, up or down, zooming in or out, rotating while zooming, fading, dropping down through the bottom of the banner. Some advantages and disadvantages of animated GIFs. Advantages of animated GIFs is that they're easy to create. Animated GIFs have disadvantages. They do not have an extensive color palette. GIFs can only show 256 colors. The file sizes can become quite large. 3 ways to keep animated GIF files small. Create your animation on a small canvas. Have as few frames as possible. And use as few colors as possible. Optimization is a means of compressing animations to reduce the size of the file. It gives you choices for reducing the color palette and eliminating unnecessary frames. A GIF animator will allow you to save files in several different formats: GIF files, JPEGs or other editable raster files, and videos. You can embed the GIF file in your web page, and another approach is to load the animated GIF to a server with its own URL and insert into a web page with the image src HTML tag that links to that document. The code identifies the animated GIF file as the source or src of the image. Dynamic HTML is a means of animating text or image elements through the HTML code that determines their placement and appearance. Advantages of DHTML is that it does not include an image, it does not require a large file size, and it loads as quickly as any HTML page. Disadvantages are that like HTML itself, its instructions will not necessarily be interpreted the same by all browsers. It cannot be used to create very complex animations, and it's not really a standalone tool. It's a creation of 3 other tools: HTML code, CSS, and JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language that increases interactivity of web pages by making it possible for actions to be executed within the browser, and without the need to access the server by the host web file. An applet is an executable program that cannot stand alone but functions only within a web browser. It uses the elements of JavaScript. Scripts can be written to change the content or appearance of a web page when the user moves their mouse or makes a choice, and it can be used to perform searches, create pop-up windows, or fill out parts of a form. JavaScript is an applet signaled by the script code, and the end is shown by the ending script code. Commands are case sensitive. Values should be in quotation marks, and you can group together sets of statements in curly brackets. JavaScript includes different kinds of tools. Objects are units manipulated in JavaScript, which has both properties and methods. Functions, JavaScript commands not executed until an event occurs, and events, an action taken by a website visitor that triggers the execution of the script. And conditional statements, an action taken if certain conditions are or are not met. Examples of JavaScript. You can create a rollover in which mousing over an image results in a change to the image, which returns to its original state when the mouse moves off of it. You can use this effect to change the appearance of a word by altering its size or color, and can also use it to swap one image for another. You can also create a dialog box. ASP.NET is Microsoft's server-side scripting language. ASP is an acronym for Active Server Pages. The web editor expression is the Microsoft product that relies on ASP.NET programming to create animations and interactive elements on web pages. ASP.NET and JavaScript can complement one another, and either kind of script can work with the HTML code. A popular form of animation is a Shockwave Flash file or SWF created with Adobe Flash Professional or similar programs. A plugin is a small piece of software downloaded into a browser to run specialized types of files. In the case of Flash programs, the files they run are multimedia. The plugins are written to be relatively small in size, though versatile, so that download times are not long. One thing that makes a plugin animation players different from video players is that they permit and respond to user input, and they can be interactive. Flash animations promote quick download times. Vector-based graphics define the beginning and ending of points mathematically. Thus, the image is easier to resize or scale than raster images such as photographs, and the result is smaller file sizes. Vector-based programs like Flash animation software define the tween frames by calculating them mathematically. These calculations occupy less space than raster drawn image files filled with colors and dots. Flash animations are streamed, meaning that it begins to play before the entire file is downloaded, and Flash animation is widely available and easy to use. Flash is essentially a digitized version of cell animation, the use of transparent pages to create a sense of movement. The essential tool used to create and control Flash animation is a timeline that records when each event will occur and what actions will happen, and a keyframe sets the point at which each new action begins. The area where the animation comes together is called the stage. The timeline includes a counter, the layers, frames, and keyframes. The frames per second indicates the rate at which each frame is played. And looping refers to the repetition of a series of frames that can be used to add length without increasing your file size. Two ways of creating animation in Flash. You import images created in another program, and you can use the software's own drawing tools. Importing art into Flash, you add it directly to the stage, and you add it to the library, which is a collection of all the elements that go into a Flash file. Animations can be further enhanced by adding photographs, video captures, text, and even music. Drawing in Flash. Flash has a range of drawing tools that allow you to draw right in the program itself. Tools include the pen tool, text tool, line tool, rectangle, pencil, brush, and deco tool. Flash Professional provides the perfecting mechanism as well. When you're modifying your image, Flash provides various tools for manipulating and transforming images and other objects within an animation. Two simple changes, modifying the size and skewing or rotating an object. Many other ways of transforming objects are by changing an image, such as making it larger or applying a different color. And a path animation is the path along which an animation sequence moves, and it may include rotating, flipping, or changing direction or color. Bitmap graphics can be added to Shockwave files, and they too can be transformed. The size or shape can be distorted, which is called warping. If the image transforms from one shape into something completely different, that is morphing. Many of these effects can be used on text as well. The default is to save in the FLA or native format. You can preview your animations as you work, and you can choose to export the file as an image or as a movie, and choose among several different formats, including the traditional SWF flash file format, animated GIF, QuickTime Movie, Windows Movie, and the best option is to publish the animation using the Publish option in the File menu. It saves the animation clip in the desired format and writes the HTML code needed to place in a website. So in summary, web animations are used to attract customers, demonstrate products, and introduce special offers. They need to be used carefully, though, to make sure that they fit the purpose and tone of the web page. Animated GIFs are simple web animations based on graphics created in raster-based graphics programs. GIF animation programs combine individual images called frames and use a process called tweening to insert additional frames in order to reduce the amount of time that's needed to create consistent images. Animated GIFs are easy to create, but they tend to have large file sizes, which can slow your download times. File sizes can be reduced through various techniques, including optimization. Dynamic HTML is a technique that manipulates underlying HTML code to change the way information is displayed on the web page or to create an interactive environment for users. It has less visual capability than other forms of animation, however. JavaScript is a scripting language that sits with HTML to create opportunities for user interactions. Because the scripts run through the browser, they do not slow download times. It's a very flexible and useful tool for interactions, but it is not as visual as GIF animations or Flash. Flash animation is a vector-based approach to animation that has relatively small sizes for animation. It's highly flexible and extremely popular. Viewing Flash animation requires browsers to download a Flash Reader, which is a free plugin program. Flash animation programs allow creators to import art or create art within the program itself. Images can be combined and manipulated on a timeline. Like other illustration programs, Flash animation relies on layers, each of which can contain text or art, and all text and art objects can be treated with special effects. To create Flash animation, you place words, images, or objects on separate layers and manipulate the keyframes, which signals the start of each layer, onto successive points on the animation timeline. The duration of any element on the timeline can be extended by adding frames to it. Flash animators write HTML code that's automatically inserted into web documents when the animation is imported. If you have any questions, let me know.